welcome to my channel. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hey, look, they're having the training. Woo! Get them to wave at us. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click the little red thing below. If it says subscribe, you're not doing it right. You got to add a D. As soon as there's a D on there, then you're subscribed. Makes sense, right? So when most people buy a motorcycle, especially if they buy it new, everything comes stock. They don't like it. They're instantly making changes. New pipes, new tires, new wheels, new headlights, new everything. The people want to customize them. And this one, when I got it, it's been customized a little bit. It's got the vinyl wrap. Somebody put Tab Performance exhaust on it, and that headlight. I mean, I don't like the stock V-Rod headlights. I think they're ugly. So this can light that I have on this is awesome. I love it. I think it's cool. I want to put an LED in it, you know, a day maker or something. So that's gonna happen, but it still has stock handlebars. The problem is nobody makes anything for the V-Rod. And if it does fit the V-Rod, they don't say it. They always like, it'll say FXDR or, you know, Dyna or Fat Boy or whatever. But in truth, a lot of those parts will work on the V-Rod. They just don't say it. It just gets overlooked, and that's all right. Whatever. So I have to figure it out myself. So I've started down the road to replacing the handlebars on this. I want to do some apes, something a little higher, you know, something probably shoulder height, maybe 16s. It's probably going to be 16s. But the issue is I got to figure out the riser problem, and so I can have instruments still. So here's the video for that. Okay, here's the deal. On the V-Rod, you have this instrument cluster, and the handlebars are stock, all one piece with the riser and handlebar welded together. So if I want to put different handlebars on this, I got to have different risers. So I got these risers, nice and shiny, with a top clamp, and I got some bolts. Had stopped by Lowe's and got some of these hex head bolts that fit into the top riser clamp. And I got some of these thicker bolts that go in here in case the stock ones don't fit right, with a couple of washers just in case. Tools we're going to need is ratchet, some hex head sockets. We actually need a 15 millimeter to get the stock ones off, but a 3/4 for these new bolts. So those are going to be standard, and we'll change the bike over to standard. See, the only problem I think I'm going to run into is the instrument cluster. It has the housing that covers what you would call the riser area. So if I put the new risers on with that top clamp, I need to know if this instrument cluster clamshell cover is going to actually fit over that. If not, we'll have to find something custom. This could be the problem. Some companies out there make these airbox covers with the instrument cluster you can mount inside. I could get one of those. I don't really like them because you can't access the button under here. The button under here is where you have your settings, your trip setting, your odometer, and range indicator and things like that. So I want to be able to access that button. So I'd like to keep it here if I can. There's probably some custom ones out there. I've looked a little bit, done some reading, but nothing definitive that will really answer my question. So what we're doing today is I'm going to take the handlebars off. I'm not going to take off the electronics or the hydraulics or anything. Just leave them all on the bars. I'm just going to take off the clamshell, remove the riser and handlebars, set them off onto the airbox cover here, and then mount these new risers on there. Mount the new risers on there, and the top clamp, and then see if the instrument cluster will fit over that clamshell will fit over the riser. So if it does, we're good to go. Then all I gotta do is pick my bars, measure the hydraulics, the electronics extenders, and the throttle cables, and I'll be good to go. And put whatever bars I want on there. Just get the measurements right. Let's see if we can't screw this up. So the first thing we gotta do is get this clamshell off. It uses a 3mm hex head. I won't bore you with all the undoing. And there's one of these on either side. One here, one over here. Oh, and this is broken. The little tab on here is broken, so I might want a new cluster anyway, but this just comes off, so you can access electronics for the instruments and get to the risers here. So we'll set this off to the side. Okay, top cover comes off just like this. And then the instrument cluster is actually just like this and just plugs in here. So you can take it off. Might not need to, but let's see. It's old. I hate those clips. Then for the bottom clamshell, it's just two 5mm screws right here, hex head. Take that off. Just like that. There it goes. Now you can see, here's the triple tree. Here's the riser welded to the bars that go all the way up. So this is what we're looking to replace. Interesting. Okay, we'll see. Okay, under here, right there, under this plate right here, I guess it'd probably be easier if I took this off and hung the hot headlight down. But there's the 15mm, and I get power tools too to just back these out real fast. But there's one here, and of course one for this side over here. We'll get that one. Yeah, it'll be way easier if we drop the headlight down. Just give me a minute. There, I didn't have to take it all the way off. I just took off this front clamp and loosened it under here to move it off, so I can move it back and forth to get to that bolt right there. It's under there, connecting this post right here. Okay, I've got those loosened so you can see the handlebars are loose. It's gonna be heavy, so I'm gonna support it and then take those two bolts all the way out and set it down here for just a few minutes. Okay, I was right. This is where things go sideways. Let me show you. You see the riser has a hole in it that mounts to the triple tree, right? Here's one of the rusty old shitty bolts, or sorry, rusty old bolts from the stock ones, and of course they don't fit. That's about that size. And about the new ones that do fit, those fit just fine, but they're bigger. So you can see, oh, let's move it like this. I wonder if it'll focus on that. So it's kind of like Apollo 13. We got to find a way to make this fit into the hole for this using nothing but this. Oh.
We got to find a way to make this fit into the hole for this using nothing but that.
That. So yeah, that's problem number one. Now the thing is, these triple trees are aluminum, so it'll drill out pretty easy. We can make a hole big enough for this actually very easily. I mean, there's already a hole, and it's just a hole. It's not threaded, so we don't have to tap it, but we do have to make the hole bigger to fit that guy. What the hell? They've been working on our street for a week. I thought they were going to do like drainage or plumbing infrastructure or something like that that Joe Biden was talking about, but I think they're just doing like Google Fiber, which I guess you can call infrastructure too, right? I wonder, I can just mock it up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna mock it, kind of hold it in place. Let me show you. So I've got the bars folded back. I'm trying not to put too much, strain on hydraulic lines and electronics and stuff, but just tied it to the rafter here. It's the benefits of having an unfinished shed where you can turn it into a shop. Anyway, these holes right here are for those smaller 15mm bolts, and these holes right here and right here will need to be drilled out to be a little bit bigger to fit that 3/4. But let's see what happens with the instrument cluster. That's the real question. So the problem isn't the risers. These are the new risers right here, and I put the clamshell on and just put the bolts in kind of hand tight. Okay, so you can see in here, the top clamp is here, bolted on, the riser's underneath it, and this actually works with enough space for, I think, you know what? We might have to cut this out a little bit right here in order to get a handlebar to fit through there though, which is fine. This little notch right here is where the electronics go down from the handlebars for your turn signals and kill switch and stuff. So that might need to be modified a little bit. The problem is, here's the major problem. I'm trying to give a reflection on that, is that top clamp. You see the instrument cluster looks like this. Come on, don't be so bright. That's what my dad always told me. There we go, that's a little better. This instrument cluster, it's nice and everything, but here's the menu button like I was talking about. So the two little wires that go in there, and here's your main connector. The problem is this riser doesn't have room for that little guy right there. So when you put this in there, it bumps up against it. It needs some space for that little button so it can get to the hole right here so the button can stick through there. So that's the problem. I'm gonna put bike back together so I can ride this weekend. But it's this top clamp. We need, oh, you know what they have? I think they have those single clamps, don't they? But they're not so secure. I don't know about that. I wonder if they have one that's just got less here. I wonder if they got one that's just got less right here, so that little button can fit in there. If so, this could work. We'll have to try something else. But for now, I'm gonna clean these old rusty, these old bolts, man. They need to be cleaned and Loctited and put back in there. And I cleaned the top of the triple tree so it makes a good connection there, you know, so it butts up against it real nice. There was a little corrosion under there, a little bit of rust. Just from the years. I haven't owned this bike for very long, so, and this is the first time I've had the handlebars all the way off. So we'll just put it back together and go for a ride. We haven't solved this yet, but we will. I'm determined to solve this. I was gonna stop by and see if anybody's over at Raw Tin Garage. Raw Tin Garage. I've seen these guys at Raw Tin Garage. They do custom work. One of the bike nights I went to, they had a couple of bikes out there. One was a Star Wars themed one. Pretty cool. You know, the air cleaner, or the air filter was a Millennium Falcon. The cover was just the Millennium Falcon. It was kind of cool. And they had a Deadpool one that was really badass. It looked like a cafe style racer with off-road tires. You know, it just looked kind of mean. I liked it. I think they've sold it. It's not on their website anymore. But I thought I'd float by there so I know where it's at and talk to them for a second, say hi. Hope my camera angles are good. Last time I was out, man, my camera angles were weird on this. I had this helmet camera pointed too far down. I wasn't getting very good footage, but should get something today. Move the mount out a little bit. Friction zone U-turn, just like that. Here we go. So if you like this video, found it informative, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget that. That's a weird looking thumb on this glove. Subscribe by clicking the red button down below. Add the D. You know, it's like a little video game. You click that subscribe button and see if you can get it to add a D before the zombies get to you. It's cute. It's fun. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, missed second. Oh, trying to show off.